With Mists of Pandaria well and truly coming to an end, we're going to explore the worst parts of the expansion that just left that sour taste in your mouth. But before we get into the top 5, I would like to name some dishonorable mentions. The Zones of Pandaria, Pet Battles, the Black Market Auction House, and the New Talent Tree. And without any further ado, let's get into your top 5 most hated parts of Mists of Pandaria.
Number 5.
Coming in at 5th place was Scenarios. Scenarios aren't necessarily a bad thing. I personally believe that Blizzard didn't fully capture the potential of them. Players felt forced to do them since they were the best way to get Valor points each day. And as we all know, players hate feeling forced to do things. Though there were some good to Scenarios. When they were used to tell some story and events, they really helped to capture the feel. Outside of that, they were, well, boring.
Number 4.
Coming in at 4th on the list is the Pandaren race. Kung Fu Panda was all people could talk about when Blizzard first announced Pandas as World of Warcraft's 13th race. Unlucky number 13, right? The community detested having pandas, one of the world's most docile creatures, enter World of Warcraft and kill each other, which is pretty ironic really. Speculations were made that pandas were brought into the game to entice girls and or the Chinese fanbase. Even though Chen Stormstout was around in Warcraft 3, 2 years later into MOP, we all clearly haven't quite warmed up to them yet. I personally haven't even made a Pandaren.
Number 3.
Coming in at 3rd place on the list is Player vs Player. Now, this really doesn't surprise me. PvP in Mists of Pandaria for the most part was ridiculously stupid. From Beast Mastery hunters popping zoo and killing literally everything, to warriors doing insane amounts of damage with amazing mobility, crowd control and defensive abilities. Even with class balance out of the way, there was so much corruption amongst the PvP community, including win trading and DDoSing. Speculations claim that in Warlords they'll be taking a hard look at PvP, and I really hope they do, for all of us passionate players.
Number 2.
Coming in at 2nd on the list are daily quests. Mists of Pandaria Introduction to Endgame involved doing dailies, and then when you finish those dailies, wait for the reset to do some more. The dailies weren't meant to feel forced on us, but when the only way to get reputation for gear and rewards was dailies, there was nothing we could do but dailies. Quite frankly, if the heroic gear wasn't all so terrible, you didn't need reputation for valor gear and dailies weren't the only way to get reputation, they would have been fine. Blizzard did eventually address this by adding in bonus rep from queuing things like dungeons, as well as having Zandalari to drop tokens for boosts. But by then the damage had already been done, and now myself and anyone else who experienced it hates dailies.
Number 1.
Coming in at 1st on the list was Wargames. Who actually used this outside of streamers and Swifty doing duel videos? There is a reason why only 8 votes out of over 1,000 were for Wargames. Even dailies had 21 more votes than Wargames. Blizzard took out skirmishes which people could practice arena by queuing into random players with no repercussion in place of Wargames. Wargames, you had to physically find another person with a group already made and then challenge them to a wargame. No one uses this system for one simple fact: reward for effort. Wargames takes way too much effort for no reward. That's why everyone who isn't Swifty or Soda Poppin' hates Wargames. Well, with the exception of the people who get to fight those guys, but that's why Wargames is number 1 on this list. That's all for today's top 5 countdown. Thank you to everyone who voted and watched this video. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it around. You can also check out some of the other countdowns by clicking on the right. My name is Tim, aka Skeetz, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.